Welcome to Love Life for Singles. I'm your host, Jane Donovan, and this is the show that helps you to have a connective, successful, and most important of all, fun social life. Hi, I'm Jane Donovan, and thank you for joining me again. So this week is on somebody who has been told that they are too fussy. They're having a hard time dating. They're finding it hard to meet somebody that they really want to date. And their friends and loved ones have told them that they need to learn to settle. Ouch, isn't that a painful word? Settle. Who wants to settle? I'm not a fan of settling, not at all. But I am a fan of negotiating. So what's going on here? Now here's a typical scenario. Now this week I'm going to use a female version. All right, so I'm going to mix it up over the coming weeks where sometimes I'll use a girl, sometimes I'll use a guy. This week it's a girl. She comes to me and she says, Jane, I know what I'm looking for. I've got my 3 not negotiables. I go, great, what are they? Okay, they've got to be tall. They've got to be 6 foot or tall. I like to wear my heels and I like the man to be a lot taller, so it kind of feels good. And I go, okay, great. What else are you looking for? Look, he's got to be university educated. I need someone that's smart. And I want to have children, so I want somebody that can have children, that wants to have children as well. And I go, okay, great, terrific. Let's do the maths. Basically, this is a maths exercise. Dating is almost statistics, almost. I don't want to take the romance out of it, but there is some maths that's important to apply if you're wanting to date or you're wanting to meet the one, you're wanting to fall in love and it's not happening. So let's look at the filter system. It's really important to have a filter system. You don't want to just be wide open where you've got no idea of who is compatible to you, who is a healthy partner to you, so that you can have a rich, loving, deep relationship, a long-term one if that's what you're desiring. You need to have some sort of filter system. And I'll talk on another week about people who don't have any filter systems, and I'll help you to get one. However, for now, the question is about the person whose filter system may be a bit too rigid. So let's do the exercise with this girl. So I go, okay, fine. So she's, let's say, 35. So I bring in 100 guys and I put them all in a room. And these guys, all guys I've met, they're genuine, they're real, they're single, they're desiring love, they present well, they can hold a nice conversation. You know, they're the good guys. And I've got 100 guys in the room. And they're all going to stand up. Now I'm going to say the vast majority of these guys, I'm going to go Caucasian just for this particular scenario. There's not to be any racial segregation here at all or prejudice. It's just an exercise in statistics. I'm going to say sit down if you're not 6 foot or taller. Now, roughly for people who are, say, 35 or older, the statistics are changing with our younger generation, but for 35 and older, we're looking at roughly 15% of the Caucasian population of men are 6 foot or taller. So sit down if you're not 6 foot or taller. So we're left with 15 men. All right, next. Sit down if you're not university educated. Now, I'm not sure what the stats are, but I'm going to say that generously, let's say 20% of the population are university educated. Yet I actually suspect it's much, much lower than that. But I'm going to be generous for this exercise. So sit down if you're not university educated. So we've got 3 guys left standing now. Now, sit down if you either have had children or don't want to have children, or you have children and you don't want any more children. Because 35, you're looking at, there's a chances that probably about, I think the stats are around about, based on my experience, around 40% of people have had children by that stage that come to me. So if you don't want to have either children or more children, sit down. So of the 3 that are there, we've got 1 man left standing out of 100. Now let's just introduce this girl to this guy. Do you actually even like the look of each other? Because physical appearance is important. We are connected first to the physical before anything else. And I will talk more on that in another little episode because that can be self-sabotaging us in some cases. Do they even like each other? Would they even want to date each other? Who knows? But this girl's rules Her filter system is so rigid based on just 3 things that many, many people ask for, is making her almost undateable. So my job is to help you to be dateable. I want you to get the dates. I want you to be able to play the numbers game, go on as many dates as possible, get good at it, get good at being able to be safe and communicate freely, be vulnerable, get the relationship, get love. I want you to get that. So I've got to help you with where you're self-sabotaging or where you're potentially self-sabotaging. Now let's redo this exercise. Because if I had said to her, I'm going to present you with 100 guys in your age range who I've met every one of them and they're all genuine, they're all 100% single, they are all desiring a relationship, and they're all really nice guys. When was the last time you met that many guys of that caliber? She'd say, oh, I don't know if I ever have. And she'd get all excited. And I start presenting her with these guys and she's going, no. Jane, it's not working for me. I don't think that your service is working for me. And I go, right, what's going on? What's going on is the rigidity of her filter system. And this applies just as easily to men. I could do exactly the same exercise with men. What if I said to her, you know what, you're only 5'4" and you like to wear heels, so that takes you to about 5'6", 5'7", maybe 5'8" if you're wearing really high heels. What if I said to you, open the door to guys that are 5'10"? Or even 5'9". And in fact, you shorter guys, there's some awesome shoes out. If it bothers you, and I don't think it should bother you, however, if it does, there's an awesome products out now that you can get, that shoes that not just have lifts in them, but that actually are designed to elevate your height just by an inch. And it does change the initial dynamics, which is important when boy meets girl and girl meets boy in that initial moment. Okay, so back to the statistics. She changes it to 5'10". And now we've got a room standing up. And I've said sit down if you're 5'9" or shorter. I'm not sure what the stats are. I'm just going to do a rough estimate here. But I reckon we've probably got about 50% of the room standing. And I think I'm being generous. I think it could be more. Now, let's change university educated to intelligent. In fact, I really want to emphasize that probably the smartest people I have ever met in the world, and I have been blessed, very blessed, to have met some incredibly intelligent people. Some of them, no doubt, are university educated, but an awful lot of them were street smarts or book smart. They followed their own path and they educated themselves in their own way, and they are fascinating. So let's change it from university educated to intelligent. Now, some people are not strong on IQ. They might be strong on EQ, being emotional intelligence, or BQ, being body intelligence, or SQ, being spiritual intelligence. I believe there are 4 bodies. However, this particular girl, it's important to her to rate on IQ. So let's go. Of the 50 guys standing, sit down if you really don't think you're intelligent. And I'm going to say half of them will write themselves off and go, you know what, I'm not into that stuff. I'm different to that. And half of them will remain standing. We've got 25 guys standing. Now, sit down if you do not want to have children or you do not want to have more children. We've now probably got about 14 or 15 guys standing. So we went from 1 to, say, 15 just by adjusting her words ever so slightly, her filter system just slightly. She's still got tall compared to her, taller than her. She's still got intellectual stimulation, and she has still got somebody who wants to have children. Now she's getting more dateable, much, much more dateable. So this is what I want to talk to you about with your filter system. I want you to really think about what are your 3 not negotiables and how negotiable are they? Because I often meet people who will say, you know what, Jane, I want somebody who's funny, they've got to be financially independent, and I want them to be attractive, and they've got to be into fitness. Now, if I presented them with somebody who's financially independent, attractive, into fitness, but they're not really funny, they're more of a serious person, but they can laugh, but they're not the one making others laugh. But they are laughing at other people. They can join in on a good sense of humour. They will date them. So that means sense of humour is negotiable. So look at what it is on your list that you're desiring and ask yourself, is this actually negotiable? Or is this not negotiable? And be careful with your not negotiables. Your not negotiables, in my opinion, should be about real lifestyle stuff, real morals, real values, things that are going to carry you long term. 6 foot tall doesn't make you happy. Look, if you get it, it's a bonus, but it doesn't make you happy. University educated doesn't make you happy. Intelligence might make you happy. Children will make you happy. And frustrated sometimes, and everything else. However, I hope that that's helped you to really look at your list, at your filter system, and help you to be more dateable. Until next time, have an awesome day. If you're ready to step outside your comfort zone and really engage in having a connective, successful and fun social life, then head to my website, janedonovan.com.au, where I have links to all sorts of opportunities and resources just for singles. And most important of all, I really want you to remember, you are worthy.